Commanders, the plan to attack Jordan is ready. Excellent. Target the capital and border crossings. Airstrikes first, then the armored advance. Our forces are prepared. Mobilize. The attack begins at dawn. Where is the land of Jordan? This is not it! Ara! I can't find the land of Jordan! Still no sign of Jordan's land. Where is it? This is useless. We'll never find it. You idiots! This is Michael Jordan's house, not the country Jordan. But sir, the map said Jordan. The country, you fools. I'm so sick of your mouths. That's it. You're all blasted. No, sir. Commanders.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Yes, there's Bella, nice and sleeping. How you doing, Sylvia? Great to see you tonight. Lurch Linger, awesome to see you, buddy. Great to see you. T-shirt night. Yep, T-shirt night tonight. Yeah, T-shirt night. Gundam Zig, thanks a lot. Miss Hacker, good to see you too. Jonathan Marcus is here. Awesome to have you, bud. Jay Schwartz, good to see you. No, we're not waiting for Joe. No longer waiting for Joe. Yes, good evening, everyone, and Jim and everyone. Yes. Les Paul, good to see you. Lady Bama, how you doing? Kelly J, good to see you. So much happening. African Spain going fast. Yes, it is. It's going on. It is going on. Sanglant was here first tonight at like 6:47 tonight. As soon as I set up the link, Sanglant was in there taking care of stuff. What's up? How's it going? Good to see you. I got another quick little video I wanna play real quick. We'll get to it real quick. But first, Sylvia with 10. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sylvia. That means, folks, we are now just 90 away from adding a first additional hour and just 40 away from Bellavision. Thank you all so much for being so generous. You guys know how the goal works. Every night, for every $100 in total that comes in across all platforms, YouTube Super Chats, Rumble Rants, becoming a member or gifting a member on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, or Twitch, along with Locals and Locals coins and Cash App, PayPal, Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. We add it all up. When we hit 100, we add an extra hour. And then for each additional 100 that comes in, we add an additional hour to the show. So the show could be as long as you want it to be, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6, 8, 10, 12. You name it. You guys decide. And that's an added bonus. When we hit 50, we activate Bellavision. Or if someone is so generous that they donate $25 or greater as an individual, then we automatically activate Bellavision. CF Rob, good to see you too. Yeah, there's Miss Gatlin. How you doing? Hey, Dan's here. What's up? The Narrowway says, I liked it over there and I watched it over here. How you going? Well, there you go. Thank you so much. If we had Biden for 4 years, I can't believe Iran is run by cardboard cutouts. You ain't kidding. It could be. It's possible. Never can tell, can you? Never can tell. I do have another one I wanted to see because I was torn between which ones I was gonna play. All right, and here is the other one. This is the first-person POV game of the immigrants taking over Spain. It's coming to America soon, folks. It's coming to America soon. I hope everybody's ready because it's coming to America. It's coming to America today. Yes. It's funny. I bet all American celebrities will flee Spain now. Yeah. Well, a game with no winners, only losers. Yes. Yes. Florida launching investigation into Anthony Fauci after he pleads the fifth over 100 times. Florida is launching an investigation into the former infectious disease head, Anthony Fauci, after he invoked the fifth repeatedly during his testimony. So as a result, the Attorney General said his office is launching an investigation to find the truth of what really happened during the coronavirus pandemic. Fauci's lack of candor is unbelievable. My office is launching an investigation. On his other social media account, Uthmeyer says if he lied and as a result in physical and economic harm to countless Americans, billions of taxpayer dollars in medical expense and learning loss for the next generation, there should be accountability. He added, we look forward to working with Senator Rand Paul to get to the truth. So Rand Paul, chairman of the Senate Committee of Homeland Security and Government Affairs, warned Fauci during Wednesday's testimony there would be repercussions. The chairman has denied your assertion of privilege. Yes. And directed you to answer, but nonetheless, you refuse and stand on privilege despite the existence of the pardon. The committee will have to consider after this hearing what appropriate action should be taken. So that's a vote that will happen in committee next week. It will be contempt of Congress. A bit late, but you made it. Well, I saw you here earlier. We had our own cardboard president. That's right, Biden. That is true. Yeah, that is true. So, we believe that with his immunity from criminal liability, that he didn't need to hide behind the Fifth Amendment, and that maybe the Fifth Amendment doesn't attach when you have a pardon in place. I think there's a case on point for that. I'm pretty sure. I'm not a lawyer, but somebody did tell me that there was as one might think, there's a case from the late 1800s of a guy who got pardoned and then and then wasn't allowed to use the fifth. Yeah. CNN said it was over 70 times. I guess they can't count either. Well, you don't expect them to keep an accurate track. Native Americans thought they could scalp us into submission too. It's possible. It's possible some people might think that. But all in all, I have faith that it's gonna get better. I really do. I really do. Post Millennial just says Florida AG to launch investigation over the COVID-19 conduct. So we can hope. There has to be something that the state prosecutors can do. There has to be state laws that apply. People died. People were forced. People's rights were, hampered. People's lives were upended. There has to be, just look at it like what they tried to do to Trump with the stuff in Georgia and New York and all the different things. They knew they couldn't do anything. They knew they couldn't do anything with the federal prosecutions because of immunity and stuff like that. So they went after, they went after what they thought was, a better option, states, because they, like, oh, we can go with the states, and then there's nothing anybody can do about it. But, it is what it is. So, yeah, Florida AG threatens Fauci. So it's going to play.
When it comes to the signs of human
Let's see if it's
trafficking,
going to play tonight.
it's time to see things differently. Because traffickers don't always look like what you think. While you hope you just see a mom and daughter back there, you're missing that 2 out of every 5 sex trafficking victims are trafficked by someone they know, including family members.
Well, it's nice that they have all these white
Trafficking isn't a
people
faraway
as the
problem.
traffickers.
It's a here problem. Hello, I'm here to see your daughter. It's hiding in plain sight.
White people are doing it. It's all the white people. Yeah. Wow, it's crazy that it won't let me play the video, but it will let me play the commercial. That's very interesting. Huh. Anyway, so Fox News has got some weird shit going on. So somehow they're able to do this. Huh. So we'll keep an eye on this one, and other things. Florida announces investigation into Fauci since his pardon isn't for state charges. Legal alien charged with kidnapping, and oh my god, illegal alien. Oh my god, why is it always illegal aliens? I mean, what do we got to do to stop having illegal aliens commit all these crimes? Can't we just make them leave? Isn't it possible just to make them all leave? Like, there's got to be some way, right? Hey, Lisa, great to see you. Thanks for being here tonight. So, yeah, because the pardon isn't for state charges. So, he received a pardon courtesy of Joe Biden's auto pen. Rand Paul did warn Fauci that they would be voting on a contempt charge. Hey, Margie, what's up? Thanks for being here, Marjorie. Oldmeyer's post was brief, so of course, as of right now, we don't have any details. 111 times. So it's not really surprising he refused to say anything during a congressional hearing. What's surprising to me, I thought he had to talk. I really did. I thought he had to talk because he got the pardon. But what do I know? And on to the next story. Elon Musk rides to the GOP's rescue. It seems like Elon Musk has decided that he has a part to play. And since he's the richest person in the world, Fox needs more money for the lawsuit they paid out. Something. That he is going to be backing the GOP for the foreseeable future. He's going to basically be spending his money. He's a trillionaire. So if he spends $1 billion, it's really not that much money. It's like, somebody with, $10 million spending $100,000. Or not even that, or 10,000. I'm sorry. So Elon Musk, the mercurial trillionaire, is planning another massive cash binge on behalf of the GOP's midterm campaign that might be enough to keep the Republicans in power in the House and Senate. In 2024, Musk dropped a cool $260 million to help elect Donald Trump. No word on exactly how much Musk is willing to shell out this election cycle, but it will only add the Republicans' massive cash advantage over the Democrats. Yeah, because the Republicans right now have a cash advantage. The Democrats, for some reason, since USAID went away and since there's all this other stuff going on, the NGOs and stuff, and all the fraud is getting caught, somehow they don't have money. It's almost like they were getting the fraud money. I thought Fauci would have impaired memory. Well, that's what he could have just kept saying is, I don't recall. I joined late and there's 50 people watching, only 22 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Hit the button, you heathens. Well, it'd be nice if they did, but seems more and more like I just do this show for fun. Jim, I just subscribed on Twitch. Let me know how it goes and to get money towards the goal in Bella. Okay, let me. I don't know. Is that it says one sub, what is it? $5 for a subscription on Twitch? I don't see any notice or anything. But anyway, how much is it on Twitch? Anyone know? Best to have Elon as a friend rather than an enemy. Yeah, it's kind of crazy that they would, like these people think like, yeah, you're just going to attack the richest guy in the world and you think he's not going to fight back. Nathan Danner says Duterte is in The Hague for declaring open season on drug dealers. Fauci is responsible for more deaths. Why is he being tried for crimes against humanities? Well, I mean, if it's not open season on drug dealers, then what's Trump doing? Good evening. Hope you have a good day. Any updates from CENTCOM? I haven't seen anything from CENTCOM at all. Kamala burned through $2 billion and scared off the donors. Yeah. Musk can outspend the NGOs paying for phony votes. Yes. Yes, he can. He can outspend pretty much anybody, really, if he wanted to. I mean, plus, you got to think, he has to think like, I've got to keep these people in power because as soon as the other side gets in power, they already said they're going to come after me with everything they got. They're going to try to put me out of business and confiscate my business. Like, if it was up to Liz Warren and Bernie Sanders, they would just start taking shit away from them. They would take SpaceX away from them. They would take Twitter away from them, you know. GOP super PACs and committees have a 300 million plus advantage over their Democrat counterparts. And that doesn't include the 400 million sitting in Trump's MAGA Inc. super PAC. So that's 700 million. It's actually much worse than that for the Democrats. The RNC maintains a massive cash on hand lead, holding roughly 100 million more in cash, while the DNC has faced lingering campaign debt. Like, I did hear reports that the DNC was telling vendors, the DNC was telling vendors not to submit any invoices for payments until after the election. Twitch channel membership subscriptions typically cost $5.99 per month for tier 1 on the web in the US and $9.99 for tier 2 and $24.99 for tier 3. I don't have no idea what any of that stuff is. I would think it's because it says one sub point, so I would think that would be tier 1. So think the money is flowing through other pipelines to organizations and the candidates. Starving DNC makes it harder to stave off the DSA. It's possible. You know what? That is quite possible. It's quite possible. So I will tell you what, Shadowings, I will credit $6 towards the goal for that Twitch membership. That's all I can do. So we're at 84 away from adding a first additional hour and 34 away from Bellavision. Is there a nightclub under Pickaxe Mountain? Who knows? Yeah, I know who he is. The former president of the Philippines, accused of using death squads to kill drug dealers, was sold out by his own daughter, get extradited. Yeah. See message. Okay, I don't know. How much does DSA have in their coffers? I don't know. I don't know where their money is coming from. We have a message for me on. I don't see anything here. Oh, Elon goes to Skid Row. Something's going on here. It's not loading my messages. Okay. So we got this.
And House reps. Come on, hey, get out and vote for these senators and House reps. Come on, guys, you want a better life? Have the Democrats done anything for you, really? Go vote for the Republicans. Yeah, maybe. What about jobs? This is how you get them. Hey, get out and vote for.
That's right. That's how you get them. That is how you get them. So it's interesting. Like, I'm hoping this works. Like, something needs to happen. You know, they need all the help. Hey, what's up, Doc? I saw the DNC somewhere mortgaged a building for 30 million line of credit. I did see that too. The DSA money is from trust funds. A lot of it is coming from very rich people's kids that are idiots. You get it via Prime Tier 1. Okay. That's why you don't submit to the jurisdiction of the ICC. Okay. So yeah, it's their massive cash on hand lead. Their June 26 report showed that the DNC still owed $2 million from the 2024 campaign. So they're still $2 million in debt. You see the migrant invasion in Spain? Tens of thousands are setting stuff on fire, breaking into houses. It's insane. Looks like the zombie apocalypse. Yes, I've seen the reports. Pro GOP Trump aligned industry groups add significant firepower, including over 70 million in crypto focused super PAC funding, upwards of 100 million pledged by tech AI interest groups. Strategic estimates put the combined overall Republican cash on hand edge anywhere from 500 to over 600 million when factoring in all Trump aligned entities, party committees, and conservative mega donor networks. We all know that even a huge cash advantage doesn't guarantee success. Just ask Kamala Harris, who spent $2 billion on her losing 2024 campaign. Trump spent between 1.3 and 1.5 billion. I mean, Musk is putting the cash bomb into the most sophisticated get out the vote campaign and political history. I wonder if he's working with what's his face, Scott Pressler and them, or Turning Point USA. Maybe he's working with those people that did it in 2024. Will we see a big strike like in February again in a few weeks? I don't know. I mean, your question, your thoughts are as good as mine at this point. I don't know what we're hearing is true, what's not true. I don't know, man. I'm starting to question everything, honestly. So America PAC will focus on door knocking, digital advertising, and direct mail aimed at turning out conservative base, including voters who are typically less inclined to cast ballots in non-presidential election years. Sources with knowledge of the plans tell Axios. Musk's representatives declined to specify exactly how much he'd spend, but given that he donated in 2024, the numbers expected to be high. Musk's pro-Trump donations through America PAC in 2024 made him the largest individual political donor in a single election cycle in U.S. history. I bet because they cut off USAID, it really put a hurting on the DNC getting their kickbacks. Yeah, most definitely. America PAC was an essential partner for our historic Get Out the Vote operation in 2024, and their return for 2026 is a huge boost for Republicans across the country. We will again outsmart our opponents and ruthlessly execute our mission for the GOP between now and Election Day. Democrats' ground game has always outclassed the GOP because of enthusiasm and participation. Actually, it's because they go around and pick people up in buses and, round people up, homeless people, and, other things. That's why, that's what they do. They drag people to the polls. I'm sure he's working with Scott and Turning Point. That's what I would think. That'd be the best way to spend the money. So America PAC's Get Out the Vote operation represents a heavy investment, data-driven model that heavily leverages technology, contractor infrastructure, micro-targeting to mobilize marginal conservative voters. Getting people to the poll this November who rarely or never vote in off-year elections will be absolutely critical to the GOP's chances of maintaining control of Congress. I thought they already had a whole bunch of seats that were extra, so what the hell is going on? Rather than traditional broad canvassing efforts, America PAC uses targeted digital funnels, including petition signups and online voter tools to capture granular voter data. Trump, it was telling America PAC not to only who supports Trump, but also their level of interest and whether they can be persuaded to vote in person or by mail. Yeah, pews to the polls and AME churches all across the South. Yeah. The campaign is confident it has an advantage over the Democrats in its get out the vote efforts. Will it be enough? Musk is betting it will be. Well, Musk doesn't have any choice. He has to do this. He really does. Geller report, Elon Musk unleashes midterm war machine to save Trump's majority. Elon Musk is the very definition of a great American patriot. When the history of this extraordinary era is written, Musk will be remembered as one of the men who helped save this great nation. He's launching a massive midterm investment, door-knocking operations, Republican turnout effort. He's also been holding private talks with Trump's team about where he can make the greatest impact. America PAC was an essential partner for our historic Get Out the Vote in 2024. We sort of read that. Massive investment.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard. He didn't need this. He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, he doesn't need it, but he does have to do something because they're going to come for him. They are going to come for him because he betrayed them. He didn't do the what they wanted. Erica Kirk has been on a church tour all month. Was in Kirkland last weekend. At least Elon is smart enough to use a PAC and not give the money to the feckless RNC or Win Red. Yeah. I'm hearing more trolls on conservative sites trying to convince people their votes don't count. Yeah, well, that's what happens. That's what the people do. They try to lie to people. Oh, no, don't bother. Don't bother. What are you doing? They don't do anything anyway. I mean, I don't know. This is either going to be here's the thing. This is my prediction. This is either going to be a massive victory for the Republicans or a massive victory for the socialists. So it's either the socialists win or the MAGA, America First people win. That's your choice. It's either vote for MAGA, America First, Republicans across GOP, across the, or whatever, or libertarian, something, across the ticket, whatever you want to call it, or the socialists are going to win. If the socialist wins, everyone loses. Yes, please like the stream. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. It really does. GOP Super PAC launches massive ad campaigns in North Carolina as midterms approach. So, major Senate GOP Super PAC will launch a $17 million summer campaign in North Carolina. A source familiar with the RNC's plan told Politico the massive investments show the GOP has confidence that this advertising will work against Cooper and his record as governor. Oh. What's this? Before it comes the same week, Senate Democratic senatorial campaign announced it would be spending $40 million in organizing research and other crap. So, if Democrats want to win the Senate, they have to win 4 seats. Well, they're not going to win the Senate. The House is the only thing that I think is, This says exclusive. Musk plans massive push. If they're calling it a massive push, and he already broke the record last time, it's going to be a lot more. That's right. Jim is right. Thank you. They hate Elon for the same reason they hate Trump. All groups hate apostates the most. That's the truth. That's right. I think we proved in 2024 your vote does count. Every vote counts. Too big to rig. I do not like the inaction of the Republicans, but what I do not want even more is the thought of Democrats having total control of our government. Yeah, no, can't have that. Can't have that. Common sense is on the ballot. That's right, Ted. Invasion ongoing. Militants everywhere. Yes. Yeah, it's going. It's not. You're talking about Spain or here? It's happening. I'm door knocking in Republican districts that don't normally turn out for the midterms. There you go. There you go. Good evening. Sorry I'm late. None of your business. No problems. No problems. Big money. Tech billionaire. Tech trillionaire. Elon Musk is jumping into the midterms. He's resuscitating his dormant super PAC, which spent $260 million to get Trump elected. We'll focus on door knocking digital advertising. They declined to say how much exactly. Probably going to be 200 million, 300 million, $500 million. So America PAC was an essential partner for historic GOP. Get out the vote. Musk's investment will add a huge Republican cash edge. Super PACs and committees have a $300 million advantage. Trump has a $400 million sitting in the bank, so that's $700 million. And Elon Musk, they might be talking, I'll have $1 billion more. That goes a long way in a lot of these House districts. A lot of these House districts are they're very low people vote. Like when there's no president on the ballot, some of these districts get very low turnout. By focusing on voter turnout, Musk Group will allow other GOP groups to gear their efforts towards TV ads. It's a tax write-off. Is it though? Is it a tax write-off? Is it? I don't know. Shadow Wing says, Jim, I think you're too generous. Twitch will take a share. Oh, okay. All right. Well, should I make it what should I make it then? $5? $4? $3? You tell me. So Musk had a falling out with Trump after the 4-month stint leading Doge, infuriating by the massive spending and the big, beautiful bill. But his relationship has warmed somewhat over the last year. He also cut a $10 million check to Kentucky GOP Senate candidate Nate Morris, who eventually dropped out of the race to take a job in the Trump administration. Wow. An unofficial hint of what is to come. The petition against Mandemi from the 9/11 memorial has less than half the votes AOC received in 2024. Oh, my God. Wow. Well, oh, 5 sounds good. Okay, I'll change it to 5. All right. Hey, Muffin Rando, thanks for stopping by. So, the president's political team and the rest of the GOP apparatus have built a top-notch operation that will put Republicans in a strong position to buck history and regain control of Congress. Well, let's hope so. We can pray, right? We can pray. We can pray it happens. All right. Now, this case, this next story is infuriating because a guy who rammed his car into, like, a guy who did basically a terrorist attack, an anti-Semitic terrorist attack, got 6 months only. Everywhere in New York is already invaded. California's burning. If you can't run out, they burn. So a judge rips into the DOJ's disturbing. What is happening? Why won't my... All right, what is going on? My computer is freezing up. What is happening? What is happening here? That's why I hate the New York Post. It's not, the page is like frozen. Hmm. Judge rips into disturbing sentence. Ask for troubled man who drove into the New York City temple. A disturbed man who rammed his car into an iconic Brooklyn synagogue will get out of lockup within a week, a federal judge decided. He slammed prosecutors for requesting a harsher sentence based on a misunderstanding that the terrifying episode was a hate crime. Brooklyn federal judge Eric Vitaliano ripped the U.S. Department of Justice for seeking a 14-month sentence for a mentally ill New Jersey resident as a supposed deterrent to others from committing anti-Semitic crimes. A property crime is what was charged here, not a hate crime. Federal sentencing guidelines for such a charge for a first offense property crime landed around 6 months in prison. The judge, who was appointed by George W. Bush, said the Brooklyn U.S. Attorney's Office had caved to a popular misunderstanding that he was motivated by anti-Semitic hate when he crashed into the Crown Heights Temple 5 times in January. No, so this guy just took his car and was trying to ramp. I wasn't sharing it. Sorry. I don't know what happened. Sorry. 4 packets sent, 1 packet received. There's something weird going on, man. So sorry. Yeah, my bad. Technology is always a pain. Yeah. So this guy who rammed into the temple 5 times, took his car and just kept ramming into the temple. Just a property crime. Just a property crime. He's already spent 6 months in jail after being arrested in the aftermath of the crash, the headquarters of the Chabad Hasidic movement. No article on your splash screen? Is it still not up there? I don't know. So Vitano is charged that the DOJ failed to live up to its stated mission of acting without fear or favor by seeking a punishment that was disturbing on a deep level. Fear or favor of what? To proceed with, notwithstanding that the people might want, might be, the popular understanding might be. The sentence of time served plus 7 days means Sahio will likely be released from custody at some point in the next week. This judge is time served. Let him go. Yeah. The crash, which knocked the temple's doors off the hinges, caused $19,000 in property damage, which Sahel was ordered to pay back as part of his sentence. Yeah. 6 months should be pre-trial. 16 years sounds better. You ain't kidding, man. The Chinese balloons came from Canada, where the Chinese military was training. Mexico and Chinese roadmaps posted everywhere. Yeah. Yep, a Bush appointee. Yeah. We got to remember that this judge that's appointed in New York had to get approved by the senators of New York. The blue slip, remember? So he told cops after his arrest he discovered he had Jewish roots. The strange episode unfolded after Sell had attended events inside a synagogue, including one captured social media showing him happily dancing in jean shorts while donning a yarmulke. It's impossible to square what he did with what he believes. No, he didn't pay for repairs. They ordered him to, but we don't sentence people based on initial gut reactions. The native pleaded guilty earlier this year to intentionally damaging religious property. He's been separately charged with a state hate crime, but the charges was tossed after his guilty plea in a federal case. Oh, well, so the state just dropped the charges. Mandami probably said, well, we're fine. We want these guys smashing into synagogues and stuff. That's what we want. People clean up after the car slammed into the entrance of the Chabad Lubavitch world headquarters. He gets 6 months sentence for ramming car into Jewish group's headquarters. But, time served. The Jewish institution where his lawyers said he'd been trying to win acceptance as he struggled with psychological issues. Then you get this for a dad who was trying to connect and not lose his son to Troonville. Yeah, got the story. Yeah, got that story. It's sad. It really is. It's really sad. It's really sad. It's a really, really sad. But he was sentenced in Brooklyn federal court by a judge who declined a recommendation from prosecutors that he force Sahel to remain behind bars for another 8 months. The sentence clears the way for the New Jersey man who's already spent 6 months in detention to be released in a week. Prosecutors sought a stiffer sentence, wider warnings to those who might attack Jewish interests. But the judge said he's somewhat saddened to see the Justice Department wanted him to be influenced at sentencing by a mistaken impression. How do you know it was a mistaken impression? Why else would he try to smash into the... No one was injured. Oh, no one was injured, so just let him out. Wow. He smashed into the entrance 5 times. It wasn't an accident. It was on purpose. He purposely did this. Before he drove towards the building, he waved passersby away, a fact the judge meant at sentencing him as he ordered to pay $20,000 in restitution. Oh, so he didn't want to hurt people. He just wanted to hurt the building. Prosecutors in our argument prior to sentencing noted a staggering 80 of 146 hate crimes across New York City since the start of the year were based on crimes against Jews and Jewish institutions. Said the government's argument for a stiff sentence to send a deterrent message was initially cast as a "I hate the Jews" crime, or worse, an act of terrorism crime. But he said the federal prosecutors ultimately charged him with intentionally damaging religious property, and he pled guilty in May. So he cited a psychiatric report he received that his mental health challenges played an important role. So is he going to be in a mental hospital then? Or are we just going to let the crazy person back out on the street to do it again? So the defense attorney told the judge in a paper prior to sentencing that he battled with depression and post-traumatic stress disorder after a traumatizing childhood when he carried out the attacks. Oh, it's a troubling childhood. This is what we got, man. This is the fucking commie fucking DSA people's what they want, man. Let all the guys out to keep committing crimes. Yeah, you either go crazy with them and commit crimes, or you just have to beg and hide. It's like the fucking purge happening. He desperately sought belonging and understanding through his exploration of Judaism. Yeah, he explored it with his car through the front door. So he attended the Shabbat. He eventually attacked and found rabbinical students there warm and welcoming. He danced with them. Oh, yeah, so if you dance with them before you kill them, I guess it's okay. This is like the judge who sentenced the guy who tried to kill Kavanaugh to like real short time because, he's trans. The judge said it was an irrational call for help. Defense lawyer Greenberg. Yeah, you ain't kidding. The crash occurred on the 75th anniversary of Rabbi Mincha Mendel Schneerson becoming the leader of the Lubavitch movement and prompted immediate concern. So it was on the anniversary. So it was like, does he get to keep his driver's license? Yeah, they'll probably give him a CDL. Tell him to start driving school buses full of Jews. So it was a near constant police presence around world headquarters for years. Site was the epicenter of the Crown Heights riots. And that was another case of people just attacking Jews. Yeah, sell crazy somewhere else. We're all stocked up here. You ain't kidding. So when black residents in the neighborhood attacked Jews after a child was killed in a car traveling in Schneerson's motorcade. In 2014, a disturbed man entered a synagogue and was stabbed by a rabbinical student, wounding him before being shot dead by police. Yeah. This is Alvin Bragg, Soros DA's fingers in the pie. You ain't kidding. Hey, Roselle, what's up? Psychiatric judge. Yeah. So yeah, so that's that story. It's just ridiculous. 6 months jail for ramming a car. I'm not going to even try to play it because Fox sucks now. I need to do things IRL. See you later with good logic. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I haven't heard from Joe at all, so I don't know. If he contacts me and wants to stream, I'll stream with him. But I have to keep my own show on a schedule, so that's why I'm doing this. So that's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous, right? Next story is the War Powers Resolution fails as the Senate Republicans stand by Trump on Iran. Oh. Stand by your Trump. It's Trump. Your outlines are amazing. Well, thank you. I don't know what that means exactly. Oh, look at this. Brian Ogden comes in for a 25. Thanks God it's Thursday. Today is Thursday, not Friday. Air conditioner fell on Joe. Oh my God, that's terrible. Thank you so much for the 25, Brian. That means we activate Bellavision. Bellavision is activated. Thank you so much, Joe. And that means we are, Brian. That means we are 60 away, folks. Just 60 away. 60 away, folks. 60 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Bella time. Give us Bella. Yes. Thank you for Bellavision. It's my Friday, working third shift. Oh, okay. Good. Are you serious about the air conditioner delay is obvious? Because I haven't heard anything from him. White dad gets 15 years for son shooting up a school. Yeah, I saw. This is brutal. Brutal story. I guess the administration, criminal, weak, communist, socialistic takeover of Congress faces no consequences. Yeah. Joe is fine. I saw what you send him every day. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. It didn't fall on Joe. He dropped it out the window. Oh, my God. Yes, you are a peach. He should have hired somebody. Oh, let's see. It's still going to tell me it ain't going to play, right? Maybe I should get a different browser. Somehow can they tell I'm sharing it or something? Despite reports of waning munitions, spiking gas prices, and concerns of no clear objectives, Senate Republicans are still giving President Trump wiggle room in Iran. Wow. Republicans again blocked another War Powers resolution. The latest effort from Senator Kirsten Gillibrand failed along similar lines as last week's effort. Yeah. Wow, look at this. This story says China sent War Powers vote comes up short. This one says that Iran.
News in the escalating war in the Middle East. U.S. forces launching a fresh wave of strikes against dozens of military targets in Iran. Tehran firing back with another missile attack against Jordan. That is a country hosting thousands of American troops. While U.S. ally Kuwait reports a deadly strike on a Chinese company there. So there's a lot to unpack here this morning while you were sleeping overnight. News Nation Washington correspondent Corey Smith is live for us at the White House. Corey, these back and forth attacks are now reaching new and deeper levels. What's the latest?
Yeah,
I hope
Mark.
not.
Look, the president made good.
I hope not. I hope Jim falls window. I think somebody was joking around. Congress picking what they want regardless of what the people want. That's true. I'm still trying to catch up on I plead the fifth. Oh, hey, no problem. Higher. Joe is Jewish. Brave browser. I tried using Brave browser before. I'll try it again. I'll figure out something. I was using Brave. I used Opera. I've used Firefox. I've used Chrome. I've used Edge. I've tried everything. I really have. Bella knows more about Bowser's. Bow, wow, wow. No, the AC fell out the window. Oh my God, it did. The AC fell out the window. You get so many ads on your screen. I'm gonna try using Brave. Yes. Islam be damned. Make your last stand in Tehran. Offspring. That's good. That's good. Bomb, 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 bomb.
On his latest promise to retaliate against Iran, but this conflict is not only regaining momentum, it's also expanding beyond the Middle East. Let's start with the most recent wave of airstrikes. Central Command launching a new round of attacks around 8 p.m. Wednesday night, hitting dozens of Iranian targets, including military command centers, missile and drone facilities, coastal surveillance and defense sites. CENTCOM says this barrage was in response to Iran's attempted attacks on U.S. forces based in the Middle East on Tuesday. The latest round of strikes come after a fire erupted in the Egyptian port of Damietta. The Associated Press, citing a British security firm, reports drone strikes ignited fires on a U.S.-owned natural gas storage facility and a tanker owned by Greece. Now, Egyptian officials did not confirm what started this fire. Here's President Trump after being briefed on that attack.
It's a little more of the same, but it's going to be straightening out. It's going to be straightening out. In the meantime, we're going to be hitting them very hard because it's our turn to hit them.
But look, Marky, it is not more of the same. Until yesterday, Egypt, which is an American ally and a mediator in this conflict, was one of the only countries in the Middle East that's avoided direct military action here.
Yeah, and Corey, this
expansion not confined to the Middle East. Yeah,
yeah, it's not confined to the Middle East. You've got China that's now reportedly involved with all of these shoulder-fired, missile launchers. What details do you have on that and their involvement at this point?
Yeah, a really interesting piece of news that we got yesterday. According to Reuters, Beijing selling 400 Chinese-made air defensive missile launchers to Iran via Pakistan. Now, both countries are denying this report. China, of course, a strategic ally of Iran. President Trump has said repeatedly that he had assurances from President Xi Jinping that Beijing would not get involved. But if these reports are true, Marky, it would be two of the U.S.'s biggest adversaries offering support, albeit indirectly, to Iran. The other being Russia, of course, which the U.S. believes is providing intelligence to Iran to help track U.S. military forces in the region. Marky?
Yeah, curious how confident the president is in those pledges this morning. Corey Smith live at the White House for us. Thank you.
Oh. Wow, that's crazy. I want to see, suppose China reportedly sent missile launchers. I want to see this next news. No thanks. I don't want that. Do this. Let's see. It says China war powers up. I want to see this next story, though. I want to see the story about the missile launchers. If I use the problem with using an ad blocker is then the stuff I have an ad blocker on. All right. I have an ad blocker on, but then it'll tell me I can't listen to the, then it'll tell me I can't use the, I can't watch it without, it'll just do this. See?
The Middle East, U.S. forces launching a fresh.
All right. So that's it. That's all it was. That's the story. All right. So I have ad blockers, but it'll tell me a lot of places will say you can't do it. You got to shut it off. Like it'll tell me, like Fox, I have to shut the ad blocker off, and then it still didn't work. Dershowitz said it was an illegitimate sentence. There's no current laws to address the crime Gray was convicted of, but the jury found him guilty. It's scary. It is really scary. Like it's been like common law. Like you cannot be convicted for a crime someone else commits. Well, it's crazy. Communistic, socialist democracy don't care what people want. That's right. I wonder what Joe does for AC on the Sabbath. You can just leave it running. You can't turn anything on or off. As long as it's automatic and it goes on and off on its own, as long as he's not doing anything to touch it, it's fine. They just can't flip any switches or touch anything. They have like workarounds. Like they have lights that automatically turn on, like sensors and stuff. Like as long as they're not doing anything and not touching it, they'll have like motion sensor lights and stuff. And yeah. The name of the game is escalation. Pull rug harder. Pull harder on rug. Yes. He trusts China. I hope not. Is News Nation reliable? No one's really reliable. No one is really reliable. All the things we used to say, all the words we got all the way, all the things we used to know, the AC's gone out the window. Business is business. What's up, Poncho? How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah. News Nation is like watching Fox. It is. They're all the same. They're all trolls. That's right. Chinese babies got citizenship and they're helping Iran. What a coincidence. America needs better representation. That's right. They do. I will not comply and move on. That's right. Their rules are about tricking God, not the thought behind the rules. Yes. It's crazy, right? It's nuts. He's nuts. China's secretly arming Iranian with launchers. Reuters reported China supplied Iran with 400 air defense missiles through Pakistan. This would be a problem considering Pakistan was supposed to be like neutral mediators. If this is true, then Pakistan is now our enemy. And maybe we should just beat the fuck out of Pakistan too. So yeah, so Senate Republicans blocked the resolution. On to the next story. Trump administration is using the alien removal court for the first time in history to deport an ISIS terrorist who plotted election day terror attack. Pakistan is not our ally. No, they're not. Yes, they're not at all. Hey, Mary, thanks for stopping by. God bless you. What about our wall? Sensors turned back on? Not sure. Amish seem more committed to their beliefs. They do. Mista. What's up? How you doing, Lurchlinger? Thanks for being here. Wow, ISIS, man. ISIS, this. Hold on, I'm sorry. I saw a notification on PayPal, but I don't know. Ever been to the elbow room? No, what's that? What's the elbow room? Is that like a bar? Like a bar or something? Remember who was in Pakistan? Yeah, Osama bin Laden. That's right. Osama was in there. They were protecting him. Hunger. Jews must love AI. Maybe. I worked with a guy who lived in a Jewish neighborhood in walking distance of a synagogue. The Jews used to pay him to come around on the Sabbath and turn on their ovens and light their cigarettes. Yeah, it's called a Shabbos Goy. A Shabbos Goy. SHABBOSGOY. Shabbos Goy. Get them to do things you're not supposed to do. Yeah. They have other things. They have like timers that they'll have automatically set, like ovens that automatically turn on at a certain time of day to warm the oven up and stuff like that. So that way they don't have to turn it on or something like that. But I don't know. Are they allowed to open doors and stuff like that? Like, I don't know. That's why they have elevators on the Sabbath on, like, if you're in like New York or other, it's in Fort Lauderdale. No, never been there. Like elevators, if you notice, you ever go to like New York, Chicago, a lot of big cities and stuff, on Fridays, Friday nights and Saturday morning, the elevators will just stop on every floor automatically. That's why, because you're not allowed to push the button, so they can just get in there. And then when the kosher elevators run themselves, that's right, King of Cats, they do. They run themselves. So it's been revealed the Trump administration, the first ever application of the Alien Terrorist Removal Court, is seeking to deport an ISIS-aligned terrorist whose sons were arrested for planning a mass casualty attack on Election Day. All that stuff sounds insane. It does, right? That's called Sabbathan Operation. Yes. War tactics are openly displayed every day. Our enemy within are demanding open, no police, no defenses against invasion, no personal property, no rentals, weapons of mass destruction. You ain't kidding. It's crazy. It's programmable on all modern elevators. Yeah. Cheney and Bush knew where bin Laden was. They didn't see him as a threat. Sigh. Hello, kitty. So according to unclassified report, Nazira Halil Sajaj is subject of the FBI National Security Investigations being investigated for crimes related to international terrorism. Her son, Abdullah Hajija Zazada, and son-in-law, Nasir Ahmad Talwadi, were arrested. Oh, I wonder if he's related to that judge, Indira Talwani. They conspired to relocate their female and juvenile male family members, including them, to ISIS-controlled territory in Afghanistan, while they would remain in the U.S. to conduct the attack on behalf of ISIS. Wow. Can't push a button on Saturdays. That's right. Elevator construction for 40 years. That's a good job. Elevator constructors is a great job. All their overtime was double time. And they carried over the guys I knew that worked for Otis and stuff like that. Man, they made some good money. And if they worked 4,000 hours in a year, they got 2 full years of retirement credit, as opposed to like where I worked, you never got to carry anything over. It didn't apply. You didn't get any extra. They just started doing that after I got out. Yeah. I should have got into elevator construction instead of being an electrician. So FBI developed information that they're a supporter of ISIS, as pledged loyalty to ISIS. 1,700 hours equal a year. Yeah. Well, ours for the IBW, it was 1,600 hours equal to a year. And you would work over even if you didn't work any overtime, you would still work 2,000 hours in a year. So you basically lost 400 hours every year that you got no credit for. Every year. We know the Trump administration is seeking to remove the alien terrorist court, a lawful permanent resident suspected of pledging loyalty to ISIS. Good. Get them out of here. Congress created a terrorist removal court 3 decades ago to remove from the United States alien terrorists who never should have been here in the first place. Mad props to the elevator unions. I built the shafts. Oh, okay. Awesome. You're a concrete carpenter, a framer, whatever you say. You're IBW too. Oh, awesome. Yeah, someone has to make the world go up and down. So the court created in 1996 has never been used before. Well, that seems like a problem, but they should have been using it a long time ago. DOJ to try Afghan illegal alien in first ever case for alien terrorist removal court. Good, get him. Justice Department confirmed the launch of its first ever case in the alien terrorist removal court. Nazira Haji Zada, the matriarch of an Afghan family living in Fort Worth, after helping to support the terror plot. It's crazy. Crazy. Pretty nuts, I must say. I'm moving some tabs right now. Sorry. Yeah, too many tabs open. I got to move them around different places. So a lot of this stuff happening, this terrorist court, like it's a good thing. Like, this is it's never been used before. It probably should have been used for all those Tren de Aragua people. They should have sent them there and just basically booted them out with that. But I don't know. I don't know why it's necessary. So, according to the documents, the family sold off their homes, cars, and furniture and other belongings to finance the planned massacre before they signed a contract to sell the family's property and purchase a one-way ticket to Afghanistan. The plot was foiled in October 2024 after Talwedi and Abdullah purchased 2 AK-47 rifles, 500 rounds of ammunition, and 10 magazines from an undercover FBI employee. Talwedi admitted he intended to carry out a mass attack around Election Day on behalf of ISIS. Kash Patel noted the historic milestone. No one should be allowed to come into our country and then betray it. That's right. I don't even know why this is even her son, who was 17 when arrested, later pleaded guilty as an adult, was sentenced to 15 years. Under the plea, he will be deported to Afghanistan after serving his sentence. Talwedi pled guilty in 2025 to providing material support to ISIS. So the alien terrorist removal court's never been previously used. The specialized tribunal allows the government to seek the removal of non-citizens accused of terrorism. Good. Get them the fuck out of here, right? Get them the fuck out of here. There's no reason they should be here. We don't need these people here. There's no reason for it, right? Terror court sounds fun. It does. I don't believe 10% of the Afghan translators we imported were actually doing anything for our military. I don't believe any of them were, to tell you the truth. IBW is one of the last unions that's worth paying dues to. Yeah, it is. It's a good union. They train you, like that's the one thing. Like I don't like the fact that the people that like the members of the union, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was a member of 134, still technically a member of 134. I have a retirement card from them, but retired member card. But all the people I worked with, like thousands of people that I worked with over 20 years, the vast majority of them were very right-leaning. It was just the union officials that were like, Democrat, 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 got to be Democrat. Because basically anybody who had a position in the union eventually went on, when they were done in the union, they went on to be a politician somewhere else. They went on to some job in Washington working for some board. They got appointed to a Democrat commission somewhere. You know, when we voted them out for fucking us over, they always got a job somewhere else, moved up. They always failed up. They have Shabbos Goy AI agents now where they will accidentally let it overhear them complaining about something, then the agent can fix it. Oh my God, that is funny. You worked on elevators with wooden rails? Yeah. There was a bunch of buildings in Chicago. One of them was on Clark. What was it? Clark and Randolph. They had old DC powered, huge DC powered elevators with these giant, huge copper open bus with big, old fashioned, Frankenstein knife switches. Man, it was insane working in there. It was crazy. Yeah, even the 50-year-old women are violent terrorists. Yes. Yeah. It's just another way for foreigners to scam into our country. That's right. Good riddance. Oh, yeah. The International Union of Elevator Constructors. Honestly, I told all my nephews and my kids, if you're going to get in a union, IBW, sure, good, but elevator constructors, the pipe fitters union, pipe fitters union is another great union. You know, sprinkler fitters in Chicago. Every building's got to have a sprinkler, so sprinkler fitters a good job. You want to stay away from the painters union. You want to stay away from the laborers unless you actually have to. I actually started in the laborers union, but then immediately was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Send them to a drone factory in Ukraine. Yes, I worked on some that originally powered from DC from the grid. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Noisy elevators, and they have that odor. Yes. Yeah. Islamic extremist female lawyer becomes the first niqab wearing barrister in Nigeria. This doesn't make any sense. How is this even possible? I'm a retired pipe fitter. All the constructive fitters were hardcore Democrat. All of us service fitters were right-leaning because we could think for ourselves. Yeah. I don't know. I knew a bunch of do you know the old joke? You know, how can you tell the difference between a pipe fitter and a plumber? Pipe fitters can chew their fingernails. Ba-dum-bum. I thought these people weren't even supposed to work. How has she got a job? It's like they're only picking and choosing. This is kind of like the same thing with the Shabbos Goy stuff. Your hubby's a retired Teamster at 49. There you go. Teamsters were great people. I know a lot of good Teamster guys. Guys, you know, the Teamsters supported Richard Nixon. Remember. Nigerian lawyer Rodia Amadatsu Makai was called to the bar during September. Called the bar ceremony wearing a niqab beneath the traditional legal wig and gown required for new legal practitioners. You don't get it? Because plumbers are going to have shit under their fingernails, so they can't chew their fingernails. Macau was among 6,009 lawyers admitted to the Nigerian bar during the ceremony. Having to wear a sheet around all day must suck. You ain't kidding. Imagine what it smells like underneath there. Photos from the event showed her dressed in a formal black legal attire while wearing a black niqab, leaving only her eyes visible. How do you know it's the right person? How do you know it's actually the person? This is the thing. How do you know it's not just somebody else? All the leadership and monthly journals from the IUC is pushing Democrats, and most of the members voted for Trump. Yep. Started at 17 with CF and finished with ABF. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of, dude, iron workers, iron workers were very right-leaning people. I don't know. It's just, a lot of people that I knew saw what happened with NAFTA and was like, oh, fuck you guys. You guys fucked us all over. When the Klein tool stopped being made in USA and started to be made in Mexico, when every box, every Rayco box, everything, every fitting, all that stuff started being all the EMT and stuff we were buying was no longer made in America. It was all made in Mexico. And people were like, wait a minute. We know people that did that jobs and now they don't have jobs anymore because of you. How to tell the difference between a fitter and a plumber? Put a thin pile of shit up, put them in a pile of shit up their necks and swing a shovel at their heads. The plumber is the one who ducks. Is there an illegal alien deporters union, International Brotherhood of Customs Enforcement? Could be. I don't know. I mean, if I was in charge of, I would. There's two unions that I would immediately hit. Would be the plaster and tapers union. You know, the drywall, the tapers, and basically to do drywall taping and mudding. That union, I think it's like with plasters and tapers or something like that. It's not the painters union. That one's all illegal aliens. And then the SEIU, all illegal aliens. Well, not all, but a lot of them in there. It smells like sheet. Yeah. It also keeps the flies away. Yes. I tried to join a union once, didn't know the right people. NAFTA screwed them. Yep. Manufacturing. Yes, it did. I did all right, but they made more per hour. Tapers and painters union. Yeah. Those guys, those guys, none of them spoke English. Ever. I mean, it was different when they used to actually do lath and plaster. Your old man was a taper. Yeah. Well, it was different. It was different, in the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s. It started changing after the amnesty in the 80s and then other things in the 90s and the other people coming in, and they would just get their cousins and different people hired. And I'm sure they were all getting kickbacks and stuff. Do you know what happened to our manufacturing in this country? It had something to do with unions jacking up the cost of manufacturing the companies. Well, that was the car manufacturing. The unions basically they fucked those people all over, like screwed the people over. You aren't Hispanic. I don't habla. The images shared online shortly after ceremony circulated. Photos led to discussions about religious expression and within professional settings. Friends and supporters described her as a committed legal professional. Online claims have described her as the first lawyer to wear a niqab, but no official confirmation that claims have been provided to the body of benchers. Yeah. The United Auto Workers ruined the auto companies. They did. They really did. They caused all this crap. They were always just worried about this instead of worrying about keeping, Peaky Blinders. Yes. ICE should advertise a workers' union with travel benefits. You don't need to know English. Oh, man, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Would be very interesting. So this is just crazy. I mean, how can you even tell it's the person, it's the right person? It could be anybody underneath the mask. Really can. So Berlin's LGBTQ commission claims that queer phobia in Germany is bigger than the migrant Muslim violence. What? Huh. Did you know American companies manufacturing elsewhere outside the U.S. do not have to deal with unions in those countries? Well, yeah, no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, it has to be. The company has to make money for the union to survive. Like the unions forgot that in a lot of settings. A lot of people forget that if the company doesn't make money, if you are not providing a service to the company and the company's not able to make money, you're going to lose your fucking job anyway. Because it doesn't matter. The union can't protect you if there's no work. And if you run the companies out of business, who's going to fucking hire you? There's no one to hire you. I mean, that's the one thing that was I understood that. Everybody I knew around me understood that. The company needs to make money for you to stay employed. You can't just fuck off. You got to do your job. You gotta give that, if you're getting paid $70 an hour, you have to do more than $70 an hour worth of work. Otherwise, your company's losing money. Hey, what's up, Cree Dog? How you doing? Hey, Uncle Alert. Thank you. Uncle Alert. 440 joules. Uncle Alert. Thank you so much. I believe that's $4.40. So I'll just call it $4 and say we're now 56 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. I think that's how that works. What's the good word? Thunderbird. What's the price? 60 twice. Berlin's LGBTQ affairs commissioner said a deadly vehicle attack at the city's street day pride celebration should not be used to blame immigrants, warning that doing so would ignore what he calls persistent anti-LGBTQ sentiment within Germany. It's the fucking immigrants attacking them, but they don't want to do it. How many LGBTQ plus do you have in Germany? Yeah, it's crazy. How many? I don't know. Auto unions in Windsor, Ontario basically ran automakers out of the country. Yeah, you can't do it. Pinochet helicopter tours. You can't do it. They got to make money. You got to do it. Woot, woot, 60 twice. That's right. Speaking of democracy now, following Saturday's attack, they admitted authorities had identified the suspect as Abdul Bailout, a 21-year-old German citizen of Lebanese descent who officials say they attempted to join the Islamic State in 2025 and was released from prison in May after serving time for preparing an attack. Oh. So how long was he locked up for preparing an attack? Not very long, clearly. He said investigators are still working to determine how the suspect was able to drive a minivan into the parade area. Well, he put his foot on the gas. The police in Berlin is doing, as I always say, an incredible job trying to secure every big event. But at the end, there's no such thing as 100% security. If you want to speculate on the ongoing investigation, saying that it would have to determine how the attack unfolded. This is so stupid. Addressing concerns the attack could fuel anti-immigrant rhetoric, said Germany faces a threat from Islamic extremism, but argued that politicians should not overlook the anti-LGBTQ discrimination more broadly. Cuckoo. He says this, yet AFD is headed by a lesbian, and they are the ones getting banned. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? The far right here in Germany is, of course, waiting for an attack like this one to use in order to highlight that the foreigners are the problem. I'm talking about jobs to attract illegal aliens to work and then deport them. Yeah, I know. What's up, Boohoo? Great to see you. I hope that tree he crashed the van into was going to be okay. You ain't kidding. Did you know that automobiles manufactured in Canada and imported into the U.S., they have to pay tariffs on those cars? Yeah. It's my understanding that most of the anti-queer violence is a result of sex trade. Yeah. A lot of it is, a lot of it is gay on gay, lesbian on lesbian. P&W Aircraft used to have 40,000 employees in Connecticut, probably less than 4,000 now. Yeah. He also criticized political leaders arguing the rhetoric from the mainstream parties has contributed to hostility towards the LGBTQ people. He specifically referenced comments by German Chancellor Friedrich Merz regarding the display of the rainbow flag over the Reichstag, saying such remarks contributed to insecurity. Like, why would you, the rainbow flag over the Reichstag? So, whatever. These people are all, you know what? They are all on their way to just basically sacrificing themselves to their woke agenda. Toddler's tragic death sparks manslaughter charge after alleged poisoning. Police say Jerome Jordan and Charlene O'Connell watched 2-year-old Johnny turn blue and have a seizure, but put her to bed. Johnny? Gas station heroin. What? Kratom. A Florida father and mother of his children are behind bars after they failed to seek emergency care when a 2-year-old daughter turned blue, suffering a seizure, and began breathing abnormally after ingesting kratom pills. Wow. The Rainbow Reich, yes. Tariffs are the way to get manufacturing back into this country. That's Trump's motivation. Oh, I know. Tariffs work, man. So, Jerome Jonathan Jordan, 35. Well, it's a Stan Lee naming these people. Stan Lee, like Peter Parker, J. Jonah Jameson. Think about it. Bing Bong Booey. This guy, Jerome Jonathan Jordan. They were both charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child and child neglect causing great bodily harm, following the death of 2-year-old Johnny Jordan. The charges come more than 2 months after Johnny was rushed to Holmes Regional Medical Center in Melbourne. Hospital staff pronounced the toddler dead shortly after she arrived. Oh, well, mixed race couple, it seems. Huh. Investigators say the tragedy unfolded the night before at O'Connell's Palm Bay home, where Johnny allegedly got into kratom pills belonging to Jordan and O'Connell. Police say they believe the toddler consumed as many as 2.5 pills before both adults realized what had happened. According to investigators, Jordan and O'Connell watched as Johnny's lips turned blue. She suffered a seizure and began breathing abnormally, but instead of calling 911 or taking the girl to the hospital, police allege they failed to seek medical care. Wow, that's crazy. Excelsior. That's right. It's crazy. So authorities say Jordan then drove Johnny back to his sister's apartment in West Melbourne to put her to bed. Hours later, after waking up and finding the toddler unresponsive, they rushed her to the hospital. Investigators say Jordan initially urged hospital staff to administer Narcan, leading detectives to suspect an overdose early in the investigation. Wow. So no more little Johnny jokes. Rest in peace, little Johnny. According to the National Center for Complementary and Integrative Health, part of the Institute of Health, kratom is an herbal substance made from the leaves of a tropical tree native to Southeast Asia and is commonly sold in powders, capsules, gummies, and drinks. Sikorsky, U.S. Air Force, Black Hawk just flew over your house. Real impressive. That's awesome. We used to service Stanley's house in the hills until he kicked the bucket. It's harder to get a driver's license than to have a child. Think about it. Crazy. So some people use it for stimulant or pain relieving effects, though federal health officials have repeatedly warned about its safety. While kratom remains legal under federal law, the DEA announced earlier this month has begun the process of temporarily placing high-potency 7-hydroxychloroquine products on certain related synthetic compounds into Schedule 1, citing their high potential for abuse and opioid-like effects. The action does not apply to natural kratom leaf products. Following the medical examiner's findings and a months-long investigation, police arrested Jordan and O'Connell Thursday. Both are being held without bond at the Brevard County Jail. Police say Jordan's sister, whose apartment Johnny was taken to after leaving O'Connell's home, is not facing any charges. John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, his name is my name too. Whenever we went out, the people start to shout, it goes John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. A lot of states are starting to ban kratom. Yeah. Kratom is dangerous. Natural kratom is fine, synthetic is bad. I'm Canadian and I'm America first. America's the only hope Canada has. Canadians are brainwashed. Well, I really love our neighbors to the north. I really wish you guys would straighten it out up there. I really do. You've been served. Jocelyn Benson served by former Michigan Attorney General over potential involvement in funding hate groups like the KKK while member of the SPLC board. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, because of you, I went back down a trail of GMO foods, pineapples, and now know entirely too much about ruby red pineapples, but I don't want one at $200 each. Yeah. I've got one, what's it called? Sugarloaf, I think it is. I got one Sugarloaf plant, but it never really does well. The other ones, I don't even know what they are. Queens or something, but they just make good pineapples. I love them. I love sweet pineapples. Hey, what's up, Dyslexic? How you doing? Great to see you. Finally. MCR Special Teams and Mike Cox Law Firm served Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson with Southern Poverty Law Center related court papers on Wednesday evening. Here you go. I heard of kratom over 20 years ago. I didn't know you could buy it with an EBT, but I guess you can in New York City. Wow. Jocelyn Benson is served by Mike Cox campaign. Teacher, Johnny, if I gave you 2 cats and another 2 cats and yet another 2 cats, how many cats would you have? Little Johnny, 7. Teacher, let me put it differently. If I gave you 2 apples and another 2 apples and yet another 2 apples, how many apples would you have? 6. Good. Now, if I gave you 2 cats and I gave you 2 cats, oh, because Johnny already has a cat. Poke of pineapples last week. Yeah, that's awesome. Not too bad. You good? I'm good. I'm good. I used to sell it. I saw too many become addicted. It was sad. So former Michigan Attorney General Mike Cox recently dropped his bid for the Republican candidate for governor. The highly unpopular Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, is the likely Democrat candidate running for governor after being a term limited as Secretary of State. Jocelyn Benson, who the Gateway Pundit frequently refers to as America's most dishonest Secretary of State, is familiar with lawsuits. Benson has been involved in 69 election-related lawsuits during his time as Secretary of State. That is more than a combined total of the previous 4 Secretary of States. In addition to fighting the onslaught of election integrity-related lawsuits during her corrupt reign as Michigan's top election official, it looks like she's about to be defending herself in yet another lawsuit. This time, Benson will potentially have to explain her role as a board member of the SPLC. I have plenty of variegated pineapples to share. Just ask. Meow, 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 meow. The M2 Gold are the ones that taste best. Dole, I digress. That's a pretty competitive group. You ain't kidding. So for paying hate groups like the KKK, according to the federal indictment unsealed in April, the Department of Justice charged SPLC with wire fraud, false statements, and related offenses. Yeah. Mike Cox, is he married to Dixie Wrecked? I get the pink pineapples for free. Tops on. Have a good friend that's a port authority for Del Monte. Oh. Between roughly 2014 and 2023, the SPLC paid more than $3 million, later described as almost more than $4 million, in donor funds to individuals associated with extremist groups, including the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, the National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement, and others. I wonder if they were paying the DSA too. These payments went to informants, allegedly. The indictment claims some of the money was used by the group for group activities, including buying Klan robes and buying materials for cross burnings and planning trips to like the Unite the Right rally. Prosecutors allege they did not disclose these payments to donors. In August 12, 2017, the nation was shocked to witness the unexpected violence at the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville. The rally was billed as a call for Americans to come together and defend against destruction of historic statues by the Obama regime. I guess I just assumed the pineapples were all the one kind like bananas. Well, there's tons of different kinds of bananas. You didn't know there's tons of different kinds of bananas. There's one main brand of bananas, type of bananas that basically comes into the stores, but that's not, there's banana plants here in Florida. They're like real small bananas like this short. They taste really good though. What's the difference between socialism and communism? About 10 years. Can't say mine pink, but foliage is. Okay. Hey, I get it. The carpet is, I get it. Sadly, the Unite the Right rally, the SPLC was paying informants to organize it. Resulted in the death of Heather Heyer, a counter-protester who was standing against hateful protests when somebody was chased by a man with a rifle and panicked and ran into cars. So Jocelyn Benson, who's also America's most crooked Secretary of State, was an SPLC board member in 2017 at the time of the Unite the Right rally. There you go. All these people should get arrested, all of them. In 2018, the far-left Democrat operative was elected as Michigan Secretary of State after losing her first Soros-funded bid in 2014. Joe says, I was told it's rally time, so come on, people. Well, thank you. With that, too, now we are just $54 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you all so much for your generous donations. Curiously, prior to 2018, Benson's online profile appeared to be scrubbed, removing any evidence of her ties to the SPLC hate group. Rally for the goal for another hour? They want to force Jocelyn Benson to answer to the public about her role in payments to the hate groups like the KKK while sitting on the board. Jocelyn Benson, you can run, but you can't hide. You've been served. Cox explains you served on the board of the SPLC and now federally indicted for funding hate groups like the KKK, while also serving as Michigan's Secretary of State. Wow. Michigan deserves the truth. You've been served. Mike Cox spoke with the Gateway Pundit and explained the reason for the lawsuit. It's a force to release the public records related to Michigan's Freedom of Information Act. Rally for the invasion of Spain. She refused service in the lawsuit, so we found her and served her yesterday. The former Michigan Attorney General, who knows a thing or two about the law, explained, after months of non-disclosure, her office released some records showing she organized at least one event with the SPLC and other state secretaries of state. It also appears she used a secret non-state of Michigan issued email for some official business. Now, look at this. Got a 5 here. It says, come on, people, give Jim 5 upside the head. Thank you. Thank you so much. With that, that means we're now 49. We're halfway there, folks. 49. 49 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you all so much for being so generous today. Once we get her in the court, I expect to get to the bottom of the ongoing SPLC relationship. Spain judge ruled so they can eat it, the Spaniards. Wow. We used to grow purple potatoes, and one year I made the mistake of tilling the garden without removing the potatoes, so we had purple potatoes everywhere forever. Wow. Yeah, I seen a thing, Spain thing on Fox. They were reporting North Spain. I don't think they looked at the map. Yeah. They're not the smartest. Young men can be seen approaching Michigan Secretary of State with a stack of papers as she walks with two men. You've been served, the young man said, handing her hands with legal documents. Oh, cool. Thank you so much.
Oh, cool. Thank you so much. Right. Thanks. Nice to see you. Would you like to sign? You can send out my. Oh, cool. Thank you so much. Right. Thanks. Nice to see you. Would you like to sign? You can send out my.
Oh, she's tried to pass him off to the guy to kind of try to say she didn't get him. So that's what's going to happen there. Ank with 5 Jim Tells You memberships. Thank you so much. Wow, that is awesome. That means with that, we're now just 19 away, folks. Just 19 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you, Hank. And let's see who got those. Let's see who Domo Origato, Mr. Bagato, got the gato. Gato. Gotta get him, gotta go. Let's see. It says Karen O received a gift of membership. Duck and Felonies received a gift of membership. I haven't seen Duck and Felonies in a while. On the John received a gift of membership. DeLeon and Reformed Convict all became members of the JimSomniacs thanks to Ank. Thank you so much, Ank. Should we worry about Canada might send illegals over to our beaches like what happened in Spain today? Nah, I wouldn't worry about that. Congrats to all you. I thought it was just one. No, it was 5. One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. Yes. Welcome to the new JimSomniacs. Greetings. Yes. Thank you. No, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I'm welcome. Are you welcome or am I welcome? Everyone is welcome. So this says, in January, 4 black employees with the Michigan Department of State filed a civil suit against Jocelyn Benson. The suit alleges racial discrimination, retaliation for complaining about unfair treatment, and a racially hostile workplace, violations of Michigan's Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. The plaintiffs claim a pattern of preferential treatment for white employees. Wow. The brave plaintiffs consist of 3 current black staffers and plus 4 high-ranking Nira Silas, who has been with the state for 21 years. They're calling out Benson's crew for widespread pattern of retaliation against black employees who dare to speak out. The fireworks don't stop with the testimony of these 3 individuals. The lawsuit includes an affidavit from former Assistant Secretary of State Heaster Wheeler, a black powerhouse who cited rampant racial discrimination at the top as a top reason for ditching the sinking ship. Wow. You don't say Democrats are racist. You don't say Democrats are racist. Wow. You don't say. Wow. Democrats are racist. It's crazy. Hey, Spuds, what's up? Good to see you. So, a crazed man pays the ultimate price after bringing a knife to a gunfight with the LA County sheriffs. Democrats invented racism. Benson is a real bitch. I hope I do not get her as a governor. Already had to deal with Witchmore for way too long. Yeah. Oh, look, crazy. Look, see a knife in his hand. I wonder if they're out protesting it. A man's gunned down after attacking police with a knife. An unhinged man paid the ultimate price after deciding to bring a knife to a gunfight. KABC reported that the LA Sheriff's Department on Tuesday released a body cam footage showing the moment sheriff deputies gunned down a man after he stabbed one of them. Is it really gunning them down, or is it defending themselves? They did invent the KKK. Yes, they did. Whites are still employed. I didn't know. I thought they got rid of them all, especially at the Secretary of States. Every time I've ever been to the DMV, it's always been just like black people everywhere. Audio from the sheriff's department shows a concerned citizen telling a dispatcher they saw someone swinging knives, which prompts a police response. Surveillance video shows 3 sheriff patrol vehicles arrive at the scene. Footage, he's seen in the footage walking away from deputies pursuing him. First deputy arrives to confront Castro, who turns around and storms towards the police car. Hey, we got another one. Lurch Linger. Thank you for the gifted membership. That means we are now just 13 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. Let's see who got that one. It says Wayne Smith received the gifted membership. Welcome to the Jimsomniacs, Wayne. Thank you so much, Mr. Lurch Linger, for bringing all these people in. Everybody. But Ank, and Lurch for the memberships. Thank you. So deputy gets out of his car. Castro attacks him with a knife. Fearing for his life, the cop shoots the perp several times. Second deputy arrives to help the partner who suffered a stab wound. He also fires several shots when Castro reaches for his knife on the ground. Don't move, don't stop. So he's on the ground reaching for the knife. Let's see.
No, what's your emergency?
I just wanted to report of a guy with some knife swinging gun in public.
Where's the address? He's just swinging 2 knives, you said?
Yes, he's swinging like he's if he's aggressive fighting with someone. But he has a big knife. There's a lady walking towards the bus stop, and he looked at her. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's dangerous, you know.
A mostly peaceful knife attack, yes. I need better knife skills. Yeah. It's always good to have good knife skills. Are they going to start rioting for this guy, you think? Oh, he stabbed him. Look at him stab the cop, and the cop shot him. And then another cop's going to blam, 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 pow, 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 pow.
Don't move! Don't move! Stop reaching! Stop reaching! You okay? Get this regular patch.
I don't know what that means. 2 separate oaths in the AI.
Don't move! Don't move! Stop reaching!
I had a pause. I can't. Was he reaching there? That seemed like maybe, I don't know. Guy was twitching. I think he was twitching. Yes, good night. Yeah, Stabby McStabberson. Good shoot. He was studying to be a butcher. Yes, he was studying to be a butcher. Totally. I have a feeling they showed a little bit too much in these videos here. It's on YouTube, but they did show a little bit too much in the video.
Stop reaching! You okay?
Right. And you can see the knife all the way over here. Like down on the bottom of the screen. You can see the knife. I don't know. So he was reported taken to the hospital. He was pronounced dead. The injured deputy was also transported to a hospital where physicians treated a stab wound. So Sheriff's Department released a statement. So before Deputy 1's patrol vehicle came to a stop, Castros turned and rapidly walked in the deputy's direction. He ran at the deputy, drew a knife, and stabbed the deputy. The deputy discharged a service weapon. When Castro moves his hand, Deputy 2 commands him to stop reaching. The second deputy opens fire. Here's the full video. It's age restricted, only available on YouTube. Yeah, go figure. So so there's that. A knife is okay to show, isn't it? Okay. It's a death twitch, buddy. He's dead. Cops say to justify the empty magazine. It's dumb. Yeah, I know. It seemed to me like maybe, I mean, he's already dead. So last brain cell leaking out. Could be. He doesn't know if there's another weapon yet. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm not faulting the cop. I'm just saying, like, stop reaching. The knife was like a full body length away. Dang, man. Another future scientist taken down from us. Shame. Yes. He was just getting ready to get his life turned around. Still trying to get the wording so others grasp what I mean. You defined well. Oh, thank you. Are you talking to Hank? Never have a knife or anything else in your hand when police are coming or are there. Yeah, you don't ever want to have anything. You want to make sure they see your hands are empty. I think I may have, or just might have been Jakima or Parsnips. They've seen it for sale. Okay. It's possible. So Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni threatens to suspend Schengen with Spain after insane footage of African males storming the Cetra enclave. So are we going to get to see some video of it? If you want to die, hold on to it. Yes. He was just a wood carver. He just went to Whitland. Yeah. He was just trying to whittle some cops. Look at them all. This is what you call an invasion. Like, this is legit invasion right here. Look at it. Italy's government's considering extraordinary border controls to stop all these insane scourge of infiltration invaders coming in. We're trained to stop the threat, center mass. Rhode Island man whose birth was declared Catholic. What? What the hell kind of story is that? Oh, declared a miracle. Wanted in violent double shooting. Oh, that's terrible. Wow. Wow, that's interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Do I have anything in here? Oh, here we go. Here's some good footage. We can watch some footage. The invasion is being coordinated by Facebook groups. The flagship group says Quetta by every route. Migration is an idea, and the idea does not die. There's countless people soliciting groups to go with others. So 124,231 a day, and this one's 186 a day. This is what's happening right here. They need to stop this right now. Like, they should be basically they call it liberation of a handover back to its owners. It's right on the money. It's an invasion. I think this is a liberation, a difficult one. Hand it over to its owners, and God knows best. So let's wow. Posters are exchanging phone numbers, maps, and requesting spots to be guided. Discussion on how to purchase equipment such as fence grips. The destination appears to be some place for a ferry to mainland Spain. They do not file asylum in Quetta. They want to do it on the mainland. Once they register in Spain, they're allowed to work the day that they register for asylum. When their application is approved, they get a 1-year residence permit. All deportation orders are suspended. They have the right to receive Social Security. Oh, great. The The most likely resolution is that Spain will punt on confrontation altogether by simply sending more ferries and hauling them all up to the mainland. All 5 secure border crossing coordination Facebook groups have been closed. These groups contain 230,000 members. Doesn't make any sense to me that there were 0 women, children, or elderly people in the videos. Until I realized it wasn't a migration at all. You bring women with you to migrate. You leave them behind when you're invaders. Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy. Spanish army called it, but they and the law enforcement ordered to stand down. Moroccans tried to drive migrants back to Melilla, but migrants started fires to cover jumping fences into Spanish territory. Wow. They have to intercept the boats on the water. You got to do something. They do. You got to do something. This is Spain. Spain. I looked into the Madison, Wisconsin one didn't have body cams. It was because they were opposed by BLM. Wow. Rally time, treats for Bella. Wow, with that means we're now just $11 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you all so much. Also already breaking into stores and houses to rob, squatting in houses. Some civilian Spaniards did fight some. Well, that's good. Act of war by Morocco? Yeah, I would say so. They're all Muslims. Yeah, Spaniards have become fools. Spain just became richer and stronger with all those military-age men and their diversity. Congrats, Spain. Felician. Just think, because it's the European Union, they can travel anywhere they want across borders without papers. So they'll invade all of Europe. Yeah. They were all prisoners in Morocco. They probably were. No boats. This is Spanish North Africa. They are swimming around the fence and just climbing them. Yeah. Lisa with 2. Thank you so much. That means now we're just 9 away, folks. This feels like NGO coordinated to me. Yeah. And this, because this is what they want, this is what they want. You can see it right here. My jaw really dropped listening to this. Nick Shirley on abolishing prisons. Let's just say somebody who has raped a woman, would you let him be out on the street? And this woman says, my answer is yes, even though that's a challenging answer. I'm pretty pro-communism. She explains why she's pro-communism. She wants prisons abolished, criminals released. She agrees with the democratic socialists because they're just communists. They just changed the name to try and trick people.
And so I'm not certain what prisons are actually doing for our society.
What do you think about the rise of communism here inside of the United States?
The rise of communism? That would be hard for me to answer unless we have a shared definition of communism.
Yeah, so for instance, right now here in New York City, they're now freezing the rent. They want Medicare for all. That's free Medicare. They want to tax the rich, redistribute the wealth. Zoran Mondami, he also wants prisoners to get released. He's trying to get rid of Rikers Island and abolishing private ownership in some cases as well.
Thank you for this definition. My thoughts are pretty positive. I feel aligned. I can't really speak to specifics, but I think I'm pretty pro-communism. I'm pro making things accessible. I'm pretty pro getting rid of prisons.
How can you like to get rid of prisons?
Well, the system of criminality is a very strange way to interact with I guess humanity in general, and things that
these people
as a species we're not interested in, perpetuating. I think it's kind of backwards. And so I'm not certain what prisons are actually doing for our society.
Would you like to have criminals out in the open?
Well, do I want criminals out in the open? Sure, I'm fine with that, because the idea of a criminal is a little bit funny to me.
Let's just say somebody who has raped a woman.
Totally.
Would you like them to be out in the street?
I think my answer is yes, even though that's a challenging answer to say.
So if you got raped, would you like your rapist to be out in the street?
Well, let me finish, because I have been raped, and they are out in the street. And I'm not sure like them going to jail is a solution to like whatever's going on inside their heart, or even my own heart that like contributed to that experience that I'm having. And I don't want more people to get raped, but I don't know for certain that going into a jail in the United States.
This is what you call like mentally ill. This is a mentally ill person. Oh, I've been raped a whole bunch of times, and like, was it something in my heart that caused it to happen? Oh, you have. It sounds to me like you have some regrets. This is ridiculous. Like, I don't know, man. This whole Civil War thing might be coming a lot faster than we think with people like this. If these people start winning elections, it's coming. It's coming. One migrant admitted on video he was wanted for murder. The Reconquista is in full effect. Why Maloney is pulling Schengen permission to talking closing the border with Italy. And that's what they need to do. Poland pays the EU a daily penalty of millions rather than allow diversity. Yeah, but I think Tusk is talking about letting them in. That's they elected a commie, Tusk, and he's talking about letting them in. They changed their name to trick people, just like the Southern Strategy. Oh yeah. Does she know what people in prison do when they're not inside prison? I mean, I guess we could repeal the 19th. Or Douglas, thanks for being here. I mean, I guess if we're not going to have prisons, then anybody who commits a crime has to get dealt with like they used to in the old West, where we just string them up. You steal a horse, you steal a car, there you go. Drop her off in Cuba, she can learn quicker. The prime minister on Spain is far-left globalist who happens to have most of his family and political circle under investigation for corruption. Yes, it's crazy. Stupid people should be delegalized. I think so. Yeah. It would be fun seeing her getting gangbanged, all released horny prisoners pulling a train on. It could be funny. I can't wait till she has the guys from MS-13 over for tea and crumpets. She has a fantasy. Yeah. Yeah. This is basically, this woman is the future E. Jean Carroll. Yes. Yeah, tell that to illegals. Yes, tell them. Fascinating. She thinks grapes are sexy. Yeah, she likes to be raped. She does. It's all about feelings. She has an experience now. Yeah, that was the last time somebody touched her. She's trying to improve her odds. Maybe. The prisoners won't care if she's mental. Her idea of rape was really buyer's remorse. Yeah, she does. She does deserve it. She deserves the South African thing. Yeah, she deserves it. No regrets. If Thune won't pass the SAVE Act, at least require a civics test. Something. Yeah, these people do need to be told we don't give a shit. Yeah, it's suicidal empathy. It is. Aiden Paladin put out a video on women's reading habits, romance novels. Very interesting. It is, isn't it? Of course, we could start dealing with criminals the way the Muslims do. If someone steals something, they chop off their hand. That might work. Actually, some women who have been raped didn't like it, but because in one way they got pleasure, some of them are like E. Jean Carroll. Oh my God.
It is going to shift anything inside of their like operating system so that they'll make a different choice again.
Operating system?
So underneath the DSA, the Democrat Socialists of America, they actually want to defund the police and abolish prisons. In fact, Zora Mandami was watching the World Cup with prisoners of Rikers Island. That lady she even said herself, just to be on the street. It's a bit crazy.
It is.
I mean, you just heard it directly from this woman who is a socialist, and she says that she is actually pro-communism, and she wants prisons and police abolished, and she wants people, even who committed rape, to be out on the streets with you. And this is a core mission of the Democratic Socialists of America. And if you look at this, it says right here, they explicitly support abolishing prisons and police as a long-term goal. So what does that actually mean? Defunding the police by rejecting budget expansions, ending the criminalization of working class survival, which means letting the homeless people out on the streets and just do whatever they want. Freedom for all incarcerated people. Just wrap your freaking head around this.
It's just crazy. It's just insane. It really is insane. It really is insane. They want all these people like this to be coming in. They want the Wild Wild West. Yeah, they're going to get it. We should bring back public floggings and pillories, Singapore style. It would work. Well, enormous crowd swimming around the breakwaters, doing all this stuff. The situation is absolute chaos. The border has totally collapsed.
What's up?
That's just insane. Just insane. They're going to have to do something, man. They can't keep this shit up. They really can't. They really can't. It's got to stop. So, yeah. Thousands of migrants continue crossing from Morocco into Spain's enclave as local officials reportedly urge Madrid to declare a national emergency. I mean, look at them all. They're just pouring in. They should be stopping them with fucking, they should be stopping them with, automatic fire. Oh, I get it now. I get it now. All right. Thank you so much, Karen O, for the $2 on PayPal. Thank you so much. That means we're now just 7 away. Thank you so much. Camp of the Saints. Yeah, in 20 to 40 years, Europe will be totally destroyed. It probably will be. Normandy 2.0. It is. Airdrop bacon. That would work. Happening for 8 to 10 years now. It's crazy. I hope he finds a video of the Spain council put out. The female, half of them are all in hijabs. Oh, God. 1 week without police, and we could purge all the commies and get back to sanity. Well, I'd say, I don't know if they don't understand this, though. If you get rid of all prisons and you say, like, oh, no crimes, the purge goes both ways. Just saying. They want asylum, but Morocco's a stable country. These people are from the desert, the Berbers. It's nuts. So there's another video. That's crazy, man. What's going on? I can't believe it. I don't know. I this is the someone was asking about the GDP. This is what this chart's showing. It's going up, So 30 billion or whatever it is, billions of dollars, 30,000 billion. So 30 trillion, right? $30 trillion. Then it went up to 31 trillion. And then it went up to 31.5 trillion, roughly 31.9 trillion, 32.47. So it's gone up quite a bit, like more than it's gone up these other quarters. So it's actually going up good. I don't know why someone's complaining that it's not that high. I don't know. I mean, it looks good to me. Multi-kilometer crowd of North African migrants moving towards the border in Spain. No one's stopping them. Oh yeah, Mark Halperin, the leftist loony, was saying it's bad. I mean, it's higher now. This last quarter, this last number is a higher increase than it was prior to the war starting stuff. So I don't get what they're talking about. I don't get it. So, thousands and thousands of migrants are invading Spain today.
Llena de personas. Vemos también rescatando a gente que lo estaría pasando, que estarían pidiendo auxilio aquí en la zona. Y detrás de esta tremenda imagen de todas estas personas bajando, saltando y tocando suelo español, seguimos viendo filas y filas, una auténtica marea humana de personas migrantes detrás de la valla que aguardan su turno, Javi, para seguir accediendo.
Javi, perdóname, ¿me puedes enfocar? ¿Le puedes decir a tu cámara, que no sé cómo se llama, por felicitarle también a él con su nombre?
Sí, Pablo.
Perfecto. ¿Le puedes decir a Pablo si es que son niños? Es que son niños. ¿Hay niños ahí? ¿Puedes decirle a Pablo que
¿Hay
enfoque?
niños, Pablo? ¿Puedes ver si
No quiero sacar niños. Quiero que me enfoquéis.
Does Spain have enough women and children for those 80,000 Muslims? I don't know. They are rescuing some who are asking for help. Sorry, can't type that fast. All military age males. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Uber. They call it something else, though. The leader declared an absolute humanitarian social emergency. Hundreds are sleeping outdoors, begging Madrid to declare a national emergency and deploy the army to restore control of the border, warning the situation risks massing the 2021 crisis when 10,000 people flooded the enclave in days. It looks like more than 10,000. So Maloney's threatening to suspend the Schengen. Images coming from there are striking and demonstrate once again uncontrollable illegal migration poses a concrete threat to the security of Europe's open borders. Well, good. Maloney's government's considering temporarily reinstating checks on travelers arriving from Spain. Although officials have described the proposals as suspending Schengen with Spain, the practical effect would be reintroduction of internal border controls rather than cancellation of visas. Whatever. They should cancel everything. So, I don't know who she is, but she's talented as hell. She delivers one of the clearest breakdowns of modern political radicalism I've heard in a long time. Sounds good. It never works. So, let's see. This is another person talking to Nick Shirley. She's a cutie.
Is on the rise, and what do you think about communism?
I think communism sells. It's such a simple idea and message. It obviously doesn't work at all, but it's something that you could so easily say to a young, naive college person or young person in general. You can say everything should be free and healthcare should be free and universal and education should be free, but people don't really understand the ramifications behind that statement. So, I mean, this is nothing new. People have been trying to sell the idea of socialism and communism for years and years and years. I mean, obviously in pre-Soviet Russia, you had communism. That's where a lot of it started. You had the Mensheviks and the Bolsheviks, and the Mensheviks were kind of like your mainstream run-of-the-mill Democrat, and then you had the Bolsheviks. This was way back in like the 1800s, 1900s, and the Bolsheviks came in. They were kind of like the DSA activists of today, and they said, well, the Mensheviks and the Democrats aren't being radical enough, and they aren't promising you all the things that we're promising you. We can give you free education and universal health care and all of these great things. and then they never deliver. So that happened back in the day. It's just like a recurring ideology. History is a big fat circle, and it's happening again because it's such an easy thing to sell, but it's never worked. Didn't work in Russia or the Soviet Union or China or Venezuela. Communism never works, but it's such an easy idea to try to convince people to vote others in with. So I hope that people read because those who know history do not repeat it. So we just have to teach kids why it doesn't work.
What does it mean to be a part of the DSA and be a Democrat socialist? What's that actually mean?
So DSA is the Democratic Socialists of America, and it's very, very scary. And the Democratic Socialists of America, they are using the Democratic wing of politics to Trojan horse all of their ideas through, but they're very different than mainstream Democrats. What these Democratic Socialists of America want to do is usher in communism and destroy America from within. And I'm not being dramatic when I say that, because there are many DSA members who are online all over X, you can look it up, saying we want to take down the American empire from within. We want to destroy Western civilization. They're vastly different from the left. They want to destroy all of the institutions that we hold near and dear here in America. They basically want to root out everything that our founders worked so hard to build and start again, just like the Bolsheviks did way back in the day. Repeating cycles.
It's repeating cycles, and I got to keep trying to do it. And the browser crashed. Weird. Oh, that's too bad. That's a big phone. It is a big phone. You need to check to see if it will set your pacemaker defibrillator off. I don't think it would. Wow. She just put a target on her back. Yeah. Well, she'll be all right, I think. She'll be all right, I think. So, and then the Democrat Mandela Barnes drops out of Wisconsin governor's race as the communist Francesca Hong pulls ahead. This is an actual communist, Chinese communist right here, running for governor of Wisconsin. An actual fucking Chi-Com. The reason socialism is on the rise is lazy people on the rise. The young want it all, not have to work. They want European vacations, and the socialists offer everything for free. Yeah, it's true. So Lieutenant Governor and Democrat Mandela Barnes said on Thursday he'll be dropping out of the Wisconsin governor's race. Very difficult conversation. We're going to drop out. We're going to let the commie run.
Last night I had a very difficult conversation with my staff. Now we're incredibly proud of all the things that we've accomplished and all the resources that we have raised to spread our message. But it's become very clear who our nominee is going to be. Now, I said from the very beginning when I launched this campaign that the number one goal was taking on and defeating Tom Tiffany to deliver big wins for Democrats up and down the ticket. And now it's our time to come together.
No, I didn't raise any commie kids.
On that one goal.
No.
We have to do everything to beat Tom Tiffany. This is life or death for Wisconsinites who are losing their health care under a Trump administration. People who can't afford child care. Folks who are being squeezed by bills while the rich continue to get richer. Now, I got in this race because we're living in a rigged system. The rich are getting richer while the rest of us are left scrambling for crumbs. I know this firsthand. That's why I've always fought for better. As a legislator, as an organizer, as a lieutenant governor. Now, while I may be suspending this campaign, I'll never give up my fight for Wisconsin. I'm incredibly grateful for all the folks who joined this campaign, for the people who believed in me and this movement, knew that we had a real shot at creating opportunities through bold action to improve quality of life for every single person that calls this place home. Now, we have to do everything we possibly can to defeat Tom Tiffany. And that's exactly what I'm committed to doing for the next 96 days.
They took him out with sexual impropriety accusations. Oh, wow. And never vote for anyone named Mandela. Yeah. In communist countries, I don't think vacations for the proletariat is a thing. No, it's not. So the message was a nod to Hong, who's expanded her lead. Their primary winner will likely take on Rep. Tom Tiffany, who's been the incumbent congressman and faces little opposition. Hong, like other self-described communists around the country, have been experiencing a surge in support. Called for universal child care, paid leave for everyone, $20 minimum wage, and sex change surgeries is medically necessary. She's previously called for abolishing the Senate despite recent denial. Here's a direct quote from Wong, the communist Chinese fucking traitor in our country. Abolish the Senate. Oh, look at that. Hong has been endorsed by Omar and Bernie Sanders. Of course. And has a presidential campaign, Nina Turner. Yeah, just go figure. Go figure. The commies are everywhere. And the father who bought an AR-15 for the Georgia school shooter learns his fate in first of its kind conviction. We couldn't mortgage off the DNC headquarters fast enough. Yeah. I just made Spanish Iberico pork chops. Isn't that the pork that's buried? Isn't that the pork that's buried underground or something like that? They bury it for a while. Notice they all want higher salaries but never lower taxes. No, the higher the salaries, they know that just means more people are going to pay the taxes. Just like scummy Kami Mandami did with the property tax stuff, where they said, oh, it's just going to apply to these $5 million houses. There's only like 30,000 of them that'll apply to second homes. And then it's like, no, anyone who owns a home over $1 million, you're paying the tax now. So prosecutors argued that Colin Gray ignored his son's deteriorated mental health and continued providing gun access. So the father of the high school shooter was sentenced Thursday to 15 years in prison. You failed as a parent by ignoring his warning signs. So the warning signs of him being a troon. He was a trans. So I guess they're saying that if your someone's a trans, you should make sure they don't have guns. I wonder if they're going to arrest a 15-year-old trans at the Bite of Seattle. Yeah, full of commies. Yeah, I believe they fired the police chief, or she fired the black police chief because he didn't do something right. So, Barrow County Superior Court judge sentenced Gray to concurrent prison terms after telling him the warning lights were flashing brighter and brighter. Yeah, it was a trans. Don't give a trans a gun, I guess. You failed as a parent. The weight of your crime is tethered to the acts of someone else, your son. That's not how law works in America, though. You cannot be liable for the acts of someone else, the actual acts of someone else. Like someone else committing a crime, they go, well, they committed this crime, we're going to charge you for it. That's what the sins of their, crimes of your father, crimes of your children, passing it on. This is crazy. Vote out the Democrats and rhinos, deport the illegals, end the Fed, and end the NEA, call Thune, and restore the Republic. A jury convicted Colin Gray on 27 counts, including second-degree murder and voluntary manslaughter, after prosecutors argued he gave the son the AR-15 style rifle used in the attack despite mounting concerns about the teen's mental health. He's the first parent of a school shooter to be convicted of murder. Was it a crime to do? It's a slippery slope. It is. So the sentence came after Colt Gray pleaded guilty to all 55 charges. During Thursday's hearings, victim's family urged the judge to impose a maximum sentence. The widow of slain teacher told the court she suffers from PTSD. He wasn't trans. He was gay for Nick Cruz, the Parkland school shooter. Oh, is that what it was? They charged the Crumleys because they didn't do a good enough job hiding the guns and ammo for their kid. I think it was in Michigan. Yeah, but they didn't charge the Crumleys with the murders, though. This is the first time they charged someone with murder, I believe. He would need to know he was planning to use the guns illegally. This is a slippery slope. When you give your kids a car, are you responsible if they get into accidents? I guess you are. Yeah. I mean, these cases, they're going to have to go, and there's going to have to be a court that's willing to actually enforce the law and be like, yeah, this is not the way the law works. So our daughters must grow up without a father, which is horrible, but the person who killed them is the one who should be punished, not somebody who gave them something completely legal. It was not a crime to give someone a gun. Your failure as a parent and a gun owner helped make this tragedy possible. In explaining the sentence, Prim said Colin Gray's crime stemmed from criminal negligence because he failed to intervene despite obvious warning signs. He could have locked up the guns, removed the ammunition, or stored the weapons elsewhere while seeking mental health treatment for his son, telling him that had he taken those steps, you wouldn't be here today. The murder charge will be overturned on appeal. I think so. But, who knows? Saw other crazy things coming out of Georgia. So prosecutors say he ignored warning signs about the son's deteriorating mental health and continued providing him with access to guns. Gray is among a small number of U.S. parents criminally charged in a shooting carried out by their children. main thing is to set precedent to destroy our laws. Well, yeah, they want to make it a crime. They don't want any parents teaching their kids about guns, providing them with guns, teaching them to be self-sufficient. That's it. It's like being tried twice for the same crime. It is. All my male cousins got 22s on their 12th birthday. It was a given. Like I was younger than 12 when I started hunting. So I don't know. This is crazy. Now they want to try people criminally and civilly. Yeah. So someone said something about Alan Dershowitz. I want to see what Alan Dershowitz said. Okay, here we go. Yeah, here we go. I knew I'd find it. There we go. So here's Dershowitz talking about it. The man does not belong in jail based on the absence of these criminal statutes. He deserves to be condemned. He deserves to be criticized, but he does not deserve, and we don't deserve to see him criminally prosecuted based on the absence of specific statutes.
Today, Colin Gray, the father who gave his teenage son a gun used in the 2024 Appalachia high school shooting, where 2 students, 2 teachers were murdered, was sentenced to 15 years in prison. A jury convicted the father of 27 charges, which includes second-degree murder and involuntary manslaughter. Here's what the judge said at sentencing.
None of the crimes that you're convicted of require mandatory prison. On September 4, 2024, lives and families were forever altered. You are the but for you failing to get cult help, but for your failure to remove access to the guns. This doesn't happen. September 4th would have been a normal day. You didn't intend to commit these crimes that you've been convicted of. But the loss here is profound.
Colin Gray is the first parent of a school shooter to be convicted of murder. His sentencing comes 2 days after his son, 16-year-old Colt Gray, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. His son had pleaded guilty to all 4 murders. Professor Emeritus at Harvard University, Alan Dershowitz, joins me. Good afternoon, sir. And what makes this case notable, besides the fact, the horrible tragedy of 4 lives are lost, is that it is a parent who has been convicted and sentenced because of the acts of his sons, the but for. Your thoughts of holding parents accountable like this?
Well, this is a trend that's increasing, and it clearly violates due process, civil liberties, and fair notice. If you want to hold parents responsible, pass a statute which sets out criteria. Intent is an important criteria. The judge here found no intent. The judge is just making it up, and the prosecutor's just making it up. We hate the fact that these innocent people died, and we know that the parents are morally responsible, but there's no basis in criminal law for holding them responsible for murder absent a statute. So this is one of these situations where judges think that they have a roving commission to do justice and do good. That's not the way the law works. The law requires specific prohibitions, very clear, fair notice to the family. Nobody could have known that failure to take action would result in a murder conviction. You know, in general, omissions in America are not crimes. We don't have rules that say, if you see somebody drowning, you must jump in the pool and save them. Other European countries do have that. We do have some omissions. Obviously, failure to pay taxes is a crime. But when you come to crimes like murder, the most serious crimes, there must be a specific statute. So if you want to hold parents responsible, and that's probably a pretty good idea, go to the drafting table, draft a statute, make it clear, give fair warning, tell parents that if they give a child a gun based on a record of the kind this person had, you can be convicted if he does something wrong. By the way, under this theory, he could have been convicted even if the son never fired a shot, just by giving him the gun and failing to take action. The result was not relevant to the actual culpability. He couldn't have been convicted of murder, obviously, if there were no dead bodies, but he could have been convicted of other serious crimes. So this is a very dangerous precedent, and we shouldn't let our sympathy, understandably, for the 4 people who were killed or our antagonism toward the father for not doing enough, we shouldn't hold that as a basis for a criminal conviction. That endangers every parent in America.
You know,
That's insane. All right, everybody. I'm going to send everybody over to Joe. We're supposed to be starting with Joe at 10:30, but I need to take a break. I got to take care of something before Joe's show starts. So I will see you all on Joe's show in approximately 15 minutes. I'm going to send everybody over there, and I'll see you then. And then I'll see everybody tomorrow at 7 o'clock. So thank you all for being here. Remind you all to hit the like, subscribe to the channel, and come back tomorrow for Jim to tell you the news. Yes, I have to take Bella out.